Hey guys, this is Lamptey. So in today's video, I'm sharing my experience after being a boat driver for a couple of days. So sometime in June, I had a chance to drive with Bolt. I had registered for being a driver on both Uber and that of Bolt, but my Bolt account was approved and activated, so I had a chance to use Bolt. Now, as of then, my driver was away for about 2 weeks. He had an exams to write, so then that was actually a good time for me to be able to, try my luck and see how I was going to go. Now, for every human being, there is a need for you to find means to improve upon yourself, and that was one of my main reasons why I wanted to be a driver for some days. And as part of that, I also wanted to be able to find means to meet new people, interact with new people, and see how best I can actually tolerate different attitudes. So that was some of the reasons why I decided to try, driving. So my first trip, I was actually in Tema. I went to Tema to purchase something, and after getting that, I wanted to try, driving. So I went ahead to turn on the app, and then there was the first request. So after the first request, I accepted, and then I had to find a way to, locate the passenger. So the first thing I had to do was actually call the passenger that I was on my way coming, and that was my first time. So I found it a bit difficult to navigate with the GPS. So I actually called the passenger for assistance, and then she assisted me. So once I got to her, before even getting to her, I was a bit nervous because I was having some sort of mixed feelings on how everything was going to go, because it was my first day at work, that kind of feeling. But I was able to overcome that feeling. I got to the destination of the passenger. I picked her up and then took her to where she was heading to. So while on the trip, we actually didn't really engage in any conversation. I kept my eyes on the GPS location so that I don't miss where she was going to. And then after that, I still stayed online. I had a couple of trips, and then it was nice. It was interesting. So then that was it for the first day. It was actually a good feeling. And then some other day I also decided to try it, and then it was almost the same thing. But during a couple of days, I had a chance to engage with some of the passengers. We had a couple of conversations about a couple of things. We're talking about coronavirus, so many things. And then I also found out from most of these passengers why they chose to ride with Bolt as compared to that of Uber. And then as part of our conversations, I also introduced myself being a YouTuber, and I had some of these passengers as my subscribers. So in case you're watching and you did ride with me, hello. So the experience wasn't really that bad for my first day, and then the days after. And then after about two different days, I had actually gotten some sort of experience and knew my way around the app, knew my way around the GPS, and so on. So I kept on embarking on a couple of trips, and I met other people. I went to different places. Under normal circumstances, I would have personally not been there, but because I was a driver, I had a chance to go to some of these places. I had a chance to meet a couple of people. We engaged in different conversations and so on, and it was really nice. Now, talking about the experiences bit, there were instances where my driver would tell me some of the things you experience when you're a driver. Some of them are unpleasant and so on, but I still wanted to try it. So I remember one time at Tema, I was picking up a passenger and I'd passed her a little bit, and then she called and she was like, she's the one behind. For me, I was like, under normal circumstance, I would have walked to the driver, but she kept being there pressing her phone, and I had to go back, get this passenger. And these are things you actually do encounter or experience every now and then. But it was cool. It was okay for me because after all, I'm rendering a service and I need to try my possible best to give my best and all that. So I didn't really have issues with some of these things. There are instances where you're riding with a passenger and maybe they're trying to direct you to use the shortest possible path to their location, and then you're just about negotiating a curve instead of them telling you on times like, you pass here. What about when you're just about passing, but you have to be calm and you still need to take control and everything. So those are some of the things I actually experienced, and it was good. So I remember times where after the ride, I actually didn't have change or balance that I'm supposed to give back. Sometimes it was 1 cedi, 2 cedis, and so on, and then you have passengers asking, oh, you can hold on to it, it's fine, it's okay. And it was okay. So I was getting some, tips after a couple of rides. And it wasn't intentional actually, because I didn't know some of these things. I was actually supposed to have small denominations with me, but it didn't come to mind. So after a couple of rides, I actually had to get some of these amounts so that I could pay back whatever change I'm supposed to give them and the rest. So these were some of the experience. I also had a chance to ride with some passengers who were a bit rowdy and the rest. Sometimes you are going and they tell you you can actually go more than you're going, you need to speed more, and these are some of the things. And you still need to be calm, you need to not take any sort of offense, but try your possible means to be able to have things under control. And these were some of the things I tried to do while I was driving, and it was really a very good experience for me. So there were instances where I did ride with police officers, military people, and so on. But I remember one time with a police officer, like they were having conversations, and they were acting as the boss in town. A driver messes up, and they just assault, and the rest of it. You still need to become. But we were still having conversations about a couple of things, about the coronavirus, about how it has affected their work also, and the rest. And in all, it was a very good experience for me. I actually achieved my main aim for wanting to be a driver. And if I ever get a chance again to drive again, of course I'm definitely going to do it. And for the income bit, I must say it wasn't really bad. I actually didn't do a full day I didn't do a full day as part of the days that I was driving. After doing whatever I have doing, then I decided I was going to drive. So that was it. But I think if you dedicate your time to drive for a full day, it's actually rewarding, I should say. And one strategy I actually adopted when I was driving was I didn't stay stagnant at any place after dropping off a passenger. I had to move. So this was the strategy I used. After dropping off a passenger somewhere, maybe I knew, or I know a place close to that place, what I do is that I have to think about a place I know somebody who lives there. So that in my mind, it's like, okay, you know what? I'm heading towards this guy's place, probably to say hi. And while on my way, I get a request, so I accept, I go to a different place, and I kept doing on and on. So there wasn't a time that I wasn't getting a request. Like after between 30 minutes, like after dropping off a passenger, between like about 30 minutes time, I should have a passenger I'm riding with. So this was a strategy I actually used and getting a couple of rides. And for some people, they might feel this is just wasting fuel or burning fuel, but there's this saying or proverb that you actually use a fish or meat or whatever it is to get or move a fish in the sea. So it also translates to that you have to use money to get money back, and that was basically what I was doing. So it was really worth it, and I actually got a couple of ride or request while doing that. And also with the app, whenever there's a request coming in, there's about 5 seconds or so that you need to accept. Once you don't accept, it actually affects your activity or your performance on the app, and there was a need for me to take a look at that as well. And then also the rating, I think as of now my current rating is 5.87 or so. I just have to check to be sure of that. And when you're starting as a new driver, you have 5.0, your activity is 0, and then your earnings is also 0. So once you ride with a couple of people, based on the ratings they give you and the rest, based on the request you've accepted, that is going to affect your performance on the app. So these were some of the things I learned while being a driver, and it was good. It wasn't that bad. So having a rating of about 5.87 isn't that bad at the end of the day. I'm sure I'm looking for it to head back to 4.8 I meant. So I'm looking for it to head back to the 5.0 that I actually began with. And then also with earnings, after a couple of rides which were discounted, Bolt absorbs that of the discount, so they don't actually take normal fee. So they take their fee including that of the discount, so it doesn't affect you, the driver. Whatever you earn aside the discount is actually for you. So the amount I paid both in total after every like my rides and all were about 8 cedis and all, and this was, it's a bit reasonable. So aside purchasing fuel, purchasing data, purchasing airtime, any amount that comes after is, send us whatever your income at the end of the day. So these were some of the things I learned while being a boat driver. In all, I must say it was a very good experience, and I really much loved it. So yeah, that is just about it for this video. I'm sure it's already lengthy. I don't want it to be so much lengthy. I'll be sharing more experience and different videos on what I learned, and for new drivers, what you actually have to do and what you need to get prepared already for when you're deciding to drive with any of this platform, being it Uber, being it Bolt, and so on. So that is just about it for this video. In case you are new to this channel, kindly go ahead to hit on the subscribe button, and then don't forget to hit on the bell so that anytime there's a new video, you get to see it. So once again, my name is Ishmeal Lamptey. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.